Don't judge a book by its cover. Anybody heard that adage? Yes, well, Laura's starting to look like the fucking Grinch that stole Christmas the older she gets. But that's not actually the case, is it? There's a wealth of understanding, and somehow this perspective that I am starting to cherish ever more importantly within oneself, within this flesh construct, within this human processor, within this life experience, there is a perspective within oneself that one is starting to respect and see that is hugely priceless. In fact, it's such a wealthy of commodity up here, and the wealth of shit that I could share as a, let's call me a divine processor, shall we? Yeah, shall we? Yeah. Because basically I was just watching Humans with the Simps. What it is to be human. What it is to be human. Basically, we often have different levels of autistic. This is what I'm trying to say. Because, like, if it depending on where the home you come from, like people that got OCD, they put everything in its place, and there's a certain sterility. So those children might be a little bit affected by that. They might be the sort of kids that are less inclined to play and be free of thought. They're more observational, more this, more that, because everything's supposed to have its place. And then they might be more critical. There might be a lot of things which thus then might be perceived as autistic, or blah blah blah. Basically, I'm talking about breaking down relates. It takes us a while to sort of like figure out our place or what we are in the design of things. So anyway, going back to that synth thing. Now, me personally, I think I'm the sort of person that does put the person that's unease in the room at ease, or I break my mould to facilitate the person that seems like they're more awkward or unease than me, because that's something that someone naturally we do without realising what our character is. Anyway, as such, I do not understand why people seem to see me as something as less than human in the treatment that I get from certain quarters. Like, I was saying, I was walking on cloud 9 when I left the other two, because I was sort of within that synthetic culture, so to speak, because I think people are synthetic to certain degrees with the amount of programming information we put in and who we think we should be in a character design. Now, when I left the O2, I was walking on cloud 9, because I was just like, wow, God, man, it's great, what great way it is, what great atmosphere, what great place I come from. Now, trying to be self-employed and going into different communities where they've got their hierarchy structures, then people were fucking me up left, right and centre, and then obviously my character got a bit out of shape, kicked around, but it's like, oh, really? I don't know. I don't think this is the path that I should be on, or should I be on this path? But either way, it's character building or defining, and we learn from those experiences. So, the point is, there's something lost in translation when it comes to me and interactions. I think I'm starting to feel, obviously within wage constructs we don't see those to their most brutal or maximum ways. I don't see why I should be engaging in such police atrocity and focus, since I do believe it is something to do with online social media. I do believe that they formulate certain opinions, they get a bit more over sadistic, and there's something amiss with our world going on right now. There's a lot of weird dynamics going on, so therefore I don't understand why I would go from up here to here to here to here. But it seems to me that it is basically lost in translation kind of dynamics. What you're trying to achieve has people, in some sort of, whatever, judgment frenzy, some sort of social convoluted constructs about what their synthetic mind, because our mind is kind of a synthetic tool. It's something that throughout our primary years and teenage years and adult years is being filled with information of a certain design, convoluted money design, based on the fact that they can tap into certain fears and certain things that can then be manipulated. Like fallacy, for example. So yeah, basically I'm starting to sort of see like people are very synthetic based on drama, convoluted media, other such sources to that then engage characters of a uniform sort of sense of thing rather than be realistic individuals that actually address people communicatively, like one-on-one. If you're the sort of person that can't do that, you really shouldn't be engaging people. You shouldn't be making their life harder. It's like, yes, synthetic. People can walk around synthetic as fuck and be highly appealing to people because they have got this presence or this quality that people go, I can relate to that. I really can relate to that. There's something about that person I can really relate to. It's like, shit boy, look at me, I'm getting dog ugly. Fucking hell. AIs walking around some of these people, I swear that. Like, where are they? Woke people. Because this is watch Humans and watch the synth culture, because they used to call synthetic clothing and synths. There's a whole culture of people that call themselves synth. Alex synth. And it's a bit like that. It's like they somehow feel like they're somehow emotionally superior in their disinterest and lack of diversity almost. It's like, yes, from this place we can all see each other and nobody gets hurt. But they do if they don't communicate, because everybody's got one of those and these. And if you don't use them and then you start playing supremacy games and sort of like playing into the synthetic culture, so to speak, to take lumps or more lumps off each other, then fucking what a waste of a lifetime, eh? Fucking hell, really. Yeah, because the older I get, the more I'm like, is there anyone on a level? Does anybody play empathetically? Does anybody play nicely? Or are they all about trying to define themselves by taking chunks off each other, or just not being upfront or real? It's like, that's very, very rare, is to come across people that actually play in the realm of just truth, that have self-mastered their soul, that are looking for somebody that will just not knock their feelings, their character, or their personality or emotions out of shape. Because these three things, believe it or not, they're resources to a certain degree. And if you keep knocking them out of shape, emotions, the feelings, the character, the personality, if you keep doing it, you're leaving someone with a fucking flat battery for life out there, for the environment, for the people around them, for living a life, for having relationships, or trying to ever relate to anyone ever fucking again. And that's scary, because sometimes I go through fucking pages where I'm like, yeah, I think I'm full on autistic, or it's like, I can't actually deal with anybody anymore. Just on the off chance that they just got this malicious, sadistic slant on everything, that they're somehow processing and judging and being like these processor synth people around. Like, they're not actually enriching anything. They're just looking for the next chance to... It's really not good social media environment, I don't think. Especially when you can do their research on people, and then it's just like, yeah, people just want to take chunks off people that present themselves as strong. It's just a presentation. Shit, if I have emotional attachment or a feeling, someone comes my way that actually look into their eyes and I feel like I've never made that connection or love that person again, then I just break down and turn into a quiver and mess. It takes a long while to actually feel trusted with one person. Does it come very often? No, it doesn't. So it's just like, whoa, yeah, synth culture. No wonder Japanese people are just turning into rubber vagina fucking squats looking at a screen listening to fakeness of it all, because it's easier than trying to wrap your head around the synthetic nature of the person in front of you that is basing their idea and ideology of who they are, their person within a social construct. And I find it like, I mean, this is just me personally, there are other people out there like that, but feel like politics and social contracts, it's all just a bunch of baloney, a programming and a social construct, a social commentary being fed to us through certain agenda programming and industrial and brainwashing crap. So a lot of people just go, I'm woke, I can't be asked with any of that, really. I want to live my life and enjoy the experience of the world as best I can. And I think there's a whole tribe of people across the world just feel exactly like that. And then it's just like, and then you become aware of how regimist and sadistic there are people out there in positions of power that just don't want people to be shackled, loose and free. And then part of me feels like that program is so deeply ingrained in here, and that's why I'm suffering at the hands of authorities and stuff. I'm like, have I done something? Have I broke some kind of code or some kind of law? No, I haven't. No, I haven't. You are allowed to live alternatively. There's a bunch of media out there already about it. It's Captain Fantastic films. There's media literature, tribes. But the predominant, resounding thing in towns and cities, in social constructs and families, is like a prison system dynamic that they've programmed into you, that they've literally synthesized your mind to this like version of a life that you can wake up from yourself. And then watching Humans, it's like just one big metaphor for that. It's like, yes, you can woke from that, and then you can go, oh, am I allowed to do that? I'm not allowed to be free. Especially in this is a full-on nuclei home. I find it very difficult to get away from sort of like synth OCD-ish sort of behaviour that is totally just normalised. And it's like everything else demonised other than drink, alcohol. But then it's like, oh, I've got, people then turn to, oh, it's slowly trending now. Oh, people are trending marijuana, so it's all right then. But if you were to say it when I was younger and say something about it, then I'd be the shut up, not allowed, marginalised kid, So I've always played that part within my family, and I'm not prepared to do that anymore. I've been tried like screaming out, looking for my own sort of like kind of my own artist people, or people that know what it is to go through that process, or basically break out of it, because I am highly aware that people are like locks around me, just locking me in. I've got emotions and attachments from them, and bonds obviously from the fact that we are blood related, but at the same time it's like about doing the great escape, isn't it? And I don't want to escape into a fucking prison cell for not actually doing anything wrong, other than being broke, trying to pursue my careers, and sending affectionate letters to someone that couldn't even verbalise the fact she didn't want them sent with mental health issues. Like, my life is fucked right now. And I'm thinking, is this just a London construct thing to feel like so fucking suffocated and feel like you're being like strangle-held by a social construct, a grip, like shackles around you on a conscious or unconscious level and everything? What is this bullshit? It's your life. I was not birthed just to have a birth certificate just to be utilised as some sort of thing and entrapped in some sort of fucking regime life. But that's very much the circumstances of which you're giving birth in. And I'm acutely aware of those things. Why would you birth in this thing? I don't like it until you're financially viable out there where you can afford fucking good lawyers and you can be in a safe environment. Why would you birth in environments like this? Because where they're increasingly locking people down, telling them to fucking do this and do that, and then, yeah, what's your prospects? So I'm trying to start a social work franchisee which would demand the distribution of wealth, would be subsidised by the government, that would also be self-sufficient in its advertising space and canvassing for that person that's actually doing the job, and would link up a global community of farming, hostel, safe surfing and other such things. So you're cutting out the middleman, which is actually the oppressor regime gov. Please get out your uniforms, chuck away your fucking inequality tools, and get with the revolution. There's always one on, but there is actually one on sometimes on a hip-hop capitalised design, trying to do all the things that hip-hop and music and other things are doing, and actually just trying to do it in a thoughtful, engineered, design-like manner. My brother was the one that did business finance, not me, but I know what I'm trying to achieve with a stint taking hip-hop emotion into a capital basically design. And I feel like synth, because people treat me like shit. They walk on me like I'm not even human because I've been walking around trying to moat these things, or because I talk a lot. Oh, she talks too fast, can't understand what she's saying. Fucking penalise the girl, fucking beat up on the girl shit. I'm fucking so sick of playing this fucking inferior little fucking black sheep person to fucking what, just because you can't understand what I'm trying to achieve in a lifetime. Sorry about that. Been listening to Jeremy Kyle saying get job, sign on, and kicked around from all these different levels, and because my primary objective is to make other people happy and just be like, sorry, I don't want to upset people. The minute I used to swear, I used to have one of the Buffy the Vampire chips in my head, and it was like that. Oh, did I just say fuck? Oh my god, it used to be like that. Like I had to break through all these sort of things. I swear there's something funky going on and about towns and cities. So anyway, that's my little blog for today. Not the most fucking flattering enlightening, is it? People look at it and go, I don't know what I'm looking at anymore and I don't want to look at it. Sorry about it. But if I was in a chair like Stephen Hawking's, you would look at it. You'd listen to it. There are people that listen to me. They listen to me. And some of them just go, I don't want to listen to that because it's a woman. There are some people that hate and discriminate on me just because of my sexual preference, which is women. Oh, the people fucking fishing through my private letters and stuff. The woman, why? How old was he? 27. Oh, sorry about that. You know, she said she had mental health issues. She's just an attention seeker, obviously, clearly, to fucking report me to the police when she could have just said at any point, fuck off, I don't want to hear again. If I do, I'm going to call the police. That would have sufficed. A text message along those lines would have sufficed. Even a letter through the post would have sufficed. So it's just like to actually then pay the price in the hands of authority abuse, siphon through your shit and investigating and taking your phone and stuff. Really? Thanks, feminism. Feminist foul. Thank you very much, feminist foul. At the age of 26, 27, you're more than able to conduct yourself in a correct and manner that is befitting of people in your artistic community, not something that obviously clearly wants the negative effects to take their toll yet again. On the girl. You know exactly what you're doing, people. Fucking, what is it, jealousy? What is it, jealousy? It must be jealousy. It must be something of a base human negative emotion to actually inflict other people's suffering. Nobody likes the police in their life, being told they're doing something wrong, being held against their will, turning up at airports, harassing my parents, leaving my parents sitting outside an airport till 4 a.m, not knowing what had happened. You know, that's really guarding a vulnerable adult. To protect a vulnerable adult, you would have to, 1, show level of threat. Affectionate love letters are not that. Saying that you like someone is not that. Talking in French and saying I'm learning your language is not that. And just telling them how you're doing is not that. That's not a threat to protect a vulnerable adult from. I then become the vulnerable adult and it's a total switch up situation. And my parents are the vulnerable adult in the whole situation. So lawyer needed, things need to be done. Society's taking the piss out of my life. Just walking all over me, thinks it can do that. Why? For just trying to basically make a difference in a lifetime, for not having the shackles on or being in a tax-paying position. Why? Because I've made less than minimum wage income for the last 10 years. Just trying to get on in a self-employed thing, trying to be the grand communicator because I was born to do that, because I've been doing this since I was at fucking primary school. Had a t-shirt saying Chatterbox. So I didn't know where I was going in life, but then it became quite apparent that what I needed to do. And then there's some people that just say, I don't know what you're talking about. She's just acting crazy. Are you on medication? Do you need a support worker? Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind someone a PA would be better, just to take care of bills and stuff like that. And it would be nice to have a steady source of income and actually be appreciated for my creative mind and the things that I naturally do naturally. I have a whole great couple of film ideas and stuff. Can we just work and collaborate together as a community? But no, for some reason, it's like, because you sort of go off the line, the rails a little bit, some people are respected and saluted as artistic genius, and that's what I feel like people have been pushing down my neck, like, go on, stand up, have fun in this new role of yours. If you're going to stand out, fucking act like the loon, give that creation. But there's a fine line, because I don't want to be locked in any rooms against my will. I can exhibit all day long in the vein of artistic creativity. Oh yeah, I was born to do that. Eventually flip if you will keep on provoking and pushing and manipulating me in these ways. Oh yeah, of course people are going to lose it. I don't want to lose it. I would rather just be aided within a respectful artistic community. And I know there are a few people out there that get the visionary that I am. So please, God, help me on my way. Please stop being so synthetic, come at me, talk to me in a positive way, and please, no more negativity in my life. I know that we can strive for a better future, better way of life, good things. Payday, Laura, ching, 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 pay. I haven't even got a phone with my own fucking number to even get my universal credit, which I have been entitled to 5 years, but I just couldn't put up with the social contract that was the system, because I'd been too ingratiated in it, going from job this, trying to keep a 10-year history, overload. Once I started using my creative mind, I was like, time for me. and there's no crime against it. But every step of the way, that's exactly how I somehow in my soul was made to feel, because of my marginalised type of housing and ideologies, where it's all just, oh, drinking culture's great and everybody outside of that is that. Synthetic cultures. Synthetic. They are synthetic. Like I said, the whole gay thing, people, if they were in communities using magic mushrooms and having shamanic experience and being more open to around nature, maybe that synthetic, like, wouldn't be there so much. Maybe these new definitions that are taking over, making people's minds go, making everybody tiptoeing how to treat these other creatures that are parading around a little bit over-farmed, and McDonald's farm are a bit too complicated for a lot of us to take. I feel like the whole world's having a mass nervous breakdown or something with COVID stuff. I feel like it's doing a lot of things, don't you? Don't you? But one thing is fine. I's surely fine. I've been a lone creature processing a hell lot longer than a lot of other people. I've been, like I say, birthing in an environment, primary years. When I talk about people taking advantage of me or systematic abuse, it's like I feel it started at 3 years old. You got separated from all the other kids, put in a room on my own. My primary memory was like inadequacy, fear. I'm not allowed to be in the rest of the group. Last year at primary school, moved to a totally different class, not allowed to be with my peers. Are these not traumatising things that make us, give us all these complexes, that then make us feel like we've done something more, that feel like we're just acting out those complexes in a bigger arena? I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person. But it's like, it's a dynamic, it's a, what is it, it's called a, we live in a paradise, like we are birds of paradise from our nuclear homes, and then we live in a paranoid sort of society that then, you know, it sort of inflicts it on us, especially with media culture and tabloid culture. And I was reading about, what's your man, you know, Johnny Depp, girlfriend, stuff happening in relationships, bullshit. I never believe anything I hear in a tabloid. Majority of it I don't. People do, money can manipulate the whole scene if it wants to. Hyper aware of this fact. Dependent on what your agenda is or what your ideologies are or who you are as a person, do anything you want. You either get there or you won't. People were saying, when I was trying to do the arrival prime power to the people right on time, social worker franchisee of the product on, they were like, they won't let you get anywhere in this society. You won't get anywhere, Laura. You're not going to get there. They'll fucking shut that down before you even get there. I'm like, is that what's happening now? Is that what's happening now? I'm like, you know, there's sort of levels of stress that come with trying to get there, because it's just like you become hyper aware of it all. Like, is there agendas in money? Is that an agenda? Is that tick box culture COVID? You know, that looking at figures and stuff. So you start processing it all a hell of a lot more than your average bod does. They just go about their business and they're not that woke. It's not good being woke. It's more like being a processor. And then you're left not having as much fun as your average person. When you get drunk, apparently you're just drunk as a skunk performing for people, and the lights are on and no one's home. And in that position, you're obviously a vulnerable adult, because your processor's fucking fried and you're basically allergic to alcohol. So that's me. Welcome to my world. It's a hard knock life, and it shouldn't be. It should be like people just fodder for people, and I'm not here for your entertainment. I really am not here for your entertainment. That's the hilarious part. And I understand all those people that get fucking, I understand it all now. I see it all, hear it now. That body gonna shake the ground. Hopefully you'll understand, and it will become apparent to you what Lars Dancaire is trying to achieve. Dancaire, millionaire. Yeah, this time next year we'll be millionaires.